You have solar on your RV, and maybe your RV allows you to add more solar. Well, I have a 2023 Airstream Atlas with the E1 package, which includes the Volta system. So it has a 12,000 watt hour battery with a 3200 watt inverter, which allows delivery of AC power to all the outlets, appliances, microwave, cooktop, and the air conditioner, and allows me to be off grid. The battery power is equivalent to 10 lithium batteries. There are two types of solar panels on the roof. There's a 100-watt panel for the chassis and a 300-watt system for the house, which will charge the Volta system. But we were told by our dealer that you won't get much solar power to charge the Volta system and the battery, and you're better off driving it because it has a 58-volt alternator which takes power from the engine running at a minimum of 1500 RPM. And you can actually charge the system fully by driving it for about 2.5 hours. On the Airstream site, you can buy a Merlin 300-watt solar panel bundle for $2,000. But I didn't want to spend that much money, and I decided to get my panels from Renogy for $345. And these have the same output and specifications as the Merlin panels, but they are a lot cheaper. When you look at the specifications for the Merlin solar panels on the Atlas, the 300-watt system is made up of a 200-watt panel and a 100-watt panel, and here I list the specifications of both. These panels are wired in series, so together the voltages add up to 72 volts with 5.58 amps incoming. This solar incoming power is connected through an external port to the solar charge controller made by Victron. This is the Victron Smart Solar 100/20 charge controller, which allows the delivery of a maximum of 100 volts and a maximum of 20 amps in. There are ZAMP solar input ports on the right side and the left side of the Atlas. These solar ports are connecting your solar panels in parallel with your other solar on the roof. So the voltage remains the same, but the amperage then adds up. As long as you're under 20 amps, you're okay. Volta advised me that you need to have a voltage of at least 70 volts minimum to allow charging to occur from these external solar panels that you add. My three 100-watt panels have a VOC of 23.4 volts, which results in 70.3 volts and 5.26 amps, which matches the Volta recommended minimum input. In order to get the solar energy into the system, you have to use a connector cable as shown here. Or you can use this adapter from Amazon, which has free shipping. But in order to use this one, you have to use an adapter to reverse the polarity to get the input in. And here it is shown on the driver's side. And I also show the connector attached to the passenger side. Here I show the 3 panels connected together in series by using the provided MC4 cables, and they come together joining the adapter, which goes up to the ZAMP port on the passenger side. You can monitor the Victron charge controller with the Victron Connect app, which connects to it via Bluetooth. This only shows 166 watts coming in from the 300 watts on the roof. And when I add the external panels, I get 400 watts coming in, as you can see on the solar charge controller. And on the Volta app, you can actually see 316 watts coming into the coach. The most I could get out of the added 300 watts Renogy externally was maybe about 450 watts of charging. Even when I added more panels externally using the other solar port, I could only get up to about 675 watts coming in. I conclude that using an extra 300 watts of solar panels like the Renogy Portable is insufficient in maintaining the Volta battery state of charge. In fact, I've seen the Volta inverter have a higher than usual idle consumption. About 20 to as high as 34% drop in the state of charge is occasionally seen overnight. Now, Volta tells me this is due to active pack heating pads to keep the pack at ideal operating temperature, and this draws about 200 watts, or the inverter is on, which can draw about 90 watts, and this may account for that. Then the most effective way to charge up the Volta system is with the alternator by driving the vehicle. I have a few more observations. Number one, when you use the Volta app, oftentimes I would see a system fault requiring a reboot, but since I reinstalled the app, this problem seems to have disappeared. If you're still intent on adding external solar through the ports, because ZAMP switches the polarity, when you use the iGreeley connector cable, you must add the adapter to switch the polarity back so you can charge properly. Other than that, I wish you well. I hope you have learned something from this video, and I'll see you next time.